Thank you guys for joining me. My name is Madar from Food and Fragrances. Today we got an awesome series planned for you. Now, I will say this, in a content creator's journey, it does kind of feel like a facade. It feels artificial. We get exposure to a lot of fragrances. We kind of build a huge fragrance collection just so we can kind of have references and credibility when we speak upon other fragrances that have been released or even fragrances in our collection that maybe you might be seeking. Now, the reason why I say it feels like a facade is because I don't expect people to have a large collection. And to encourage that is kind of detrimental to the hobby because we should be enjoying our purchases and not stressing about getting the next new thing. So, what this video is going to focus on, or what this series is going to focus on, is me in the event that I were to kind of step away and drop everything. How would I downsize my fragrance collection? What fragrances would I consider the holy grail of fragrances that I would leave remaining in my collection? And this 5 to 6 part series, not too sure how it's going to pan out, we're going to explore those fragrances. So stay tuned. Once we drop my music, I'll explain a little bit more further as to what we're going to be doing for the following videos. Thank you guys for joining me. I know it's been a while since I've dropped a video. I do apologize. It's just, I've kind of sat here thinking about what's next for the channel. How am I going to bring content that makes sense, that feels relatable, that is kind of, something a little bit different than what everybody else is doing right now. And what I've determined is I have a large fragrance collection, yes. And to me, it doesn't seem like it's a suitable recommendation to say, do as I do, because having as many bottles as I do just doesn't make sense for the average person, the consumer. I totaled up the amount that I have. I have 315 some odd fragrances, give or take. Now, in the event that I were to step away, and really just kind of have my collection for me, not do videos, not do any of that, what would a reasonable amount be? How would I conjure up what that reasonable amount would be? What would be my rationale? And I think what I've devised is, if I were to step away, I think the suitable amount of fragrances would be 25. For me, personally. I'm not going to say for you because you're different. Your thought process may be a lot more different than mine. I think personally 25 would be perfect. And some people may say, hey, 25 may be too much. I got 315, give or take. So 25 to me is like, ooh, cutthroat. We're really sizing down the collection, right? Now, this is just figuratively, but I've done everything in my power to really kind of make it as realistic as possible and axe out things that I just would consider selling if I were to kind of step away from the hobby. I'm not going to. I do want to build this channel and have it grow, but I think 25 for me would be the perfect amount. And the reason why I say 25 is I'd like to have 5 for every season. Living in Canada, living in Toronto, we're exposed to 4 seasons, right? Spring, summer, fall, winter. And all of those seasons are drastically different. We live in a humid terrain. We have rain in spring. We got beautiful, beautiful hot weather in summer, followed by some cooler nights. We have fall, which is beautiful with the seasons changing and a little bit of briskness. And we got winter, the one that I hate the most, but allows us to wear fragrances that have a little bit more spice and a little bit more density. So it's not all that bad. But for me, I think 5 for each season would be great. You'd have a little bit of selection, a little bit of variety to kind of still keep you in the mood. Plus, it'll allow you to kind of use up your fragrances. Now, The other five, so we got 20 there. The other five I would reserve for special occasions, date nights, movie nights, big events, baby showers, weddings, things like that, right? So you still have a little bit of uniqueness and a little bit of specialty, but it's still allowing you to use your fragrances. So that's how I've kind of conjured up the 25. Now, what we're going to do in this series is we're going to visit 5 of these fragrances per each episode and explain to you how they make me feel, why I choose them, and what season they'd be perfect for. Now, what I wanted to do is instead of saying, okay, we're going to tackle fall, we're going to tackle winter, which would turn into a top 5 list anyways, which I feel like would be counterproductive. What we're going to do is we're going to hit all 4 seasons plus one unique, special occasion fragrance in each video. And then we'll kind of summarize it at the end. But what these fragrances are to me are the Holy Grails, the end-all be-alls, the ones that would survive the chopping block. And each of these fragrances mean a lot to me because, the journey has been crazy. And I think it's very diverse, right? Kind of keeping in fact some of the notes, some of the styles of the fragrances, and then also the versatility of saying that, some fragrances may be good for a spring night and some fragrances may be good for a spring day, or so on and so forth for the other seasons. So I hope you guys truly enjoy, and I'd like to kind of kick it off with some honorable mentions. Now, I don't have the bottles in front of me. I have written down this list and spent some time actually conjuring this list, but some honorable mentions for me for the spring season. This is my phone. My honorable mentions for me for the spring season would be Hasu and Faith from BTV. Now, I know a lot of people would say, yeah, this would meet my chopping block, and that's great for you. They're phenomenal fragrances, and for me, they're honorable mentions for sure. It's hard. It's hard cutting down a 315 bottle collection to 25. Some good things have to go. And for me, I think Hasu and Faith would be those for spring. For summertime, Noir 29 was very, very close from Le Labo to cracking the list. And for me, Le Labo, I think, is fantastic for the type of wearing that I seek in fragrances. And the Noir 29 is just something that I love. I love Fig, and it just does it for me. So it was very close to making the list, but unfortunately, it couldn't make it. And hopefully you see why. For fall, I really like this fragrance a lot, and it was, again, very, very close, but again, there's so many bangers on this list, and it was LV, so Louis Vuitton, Les Sables Roses. Banger of a fragrance, banger of a fragrance. I think what factored into it not making the list was if I were to run out, putting the refill thing aside, would I go back and buy the bottle? I just don't think so. Not with the new recent price increase from LV. I just think at that point, I feel like they're gouging the clients. And I just don't think so. I just won't do it. So as much as I'd have loved to put that on the list, it just doesn't make the cut. For winter, Boadicea again. I think Amethyst and Dragon are fantastic, fantastic fragrances. But again, what I got on this list, I think kind of take it a little bit further for me. So Amethyst and Dragon would have been for winter. And the specialty fragrances, like something that I want to wear on like a special occasion, for me would have been like an honorable mention, would have been Javoy or Clive Christian's X. And I've talked about, Javoy's Psychedelic and Clive Christian's X. I think Psychedelic was closer to making the list than X, and as much as I love X, I just think Psychedelic has that extra oomph of what I like in a fragrance, that beautiful, dirty, earthy patchouli that's dark. It's just, again, I think we got some bangers in the specialty list, and that's the honorable mentions that didn't make the cut, but were very close. So, are you guys ready? Yeah? All right. let's crack into the first fragrance. As you can see, I do have them over here, so if you want your quick little peek, but yeah, let's crack into the first one. All right, for spring, the spring fragrance that I'm choosing is Aqua Sapphire from Boudicca the Victorious. Now, the reason why it's here is, again, for spring, I think this is a phenomenal fragrance. The way that this fragrance lasts, the way that this fragrance blossoms into multiple facets of a fragrance, I just think it's absolutely addicting. When you have such a unique season where you have beautiful hot weather, sometimes you have, those damp, rainy evenings, you have, a little bit of humidity. I think Aqua Sapphire does the trick in providing such a wonderful experience, such a wonderful, pleasant wearing, that it really allows the fragrance to blossom the way that it's intended to. The different phases that comes out with the fragrance, where you have that beautiful aquatic nature where it feels a little bit darker but not really. You have this beautiful rum note that Boudicca is really good at doing, mixed in with a slightly tart pineapple, a rose lurking in the background where it's kind of a little bit floral, but it just kind of mixes in extremely well with the aquatics, and the woodiness in the background. It's just beautifully aromatic. I think it's a beautiful fragrance, super long lasting. Something that's light, but something that also speaks volumes. I think if I ever ran out of this bottle, it would be a no-brainer for me to get another bottle of this. So, to me, I think for the spring selection of the Holy Grail, Aqua Sapphire hits the mark on every level, and I couldn't recommend a more beautiful fragrance. So for spring, I'm going with Aqua Sapphire. It just makes a ton of sense for me, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So let's move on to our next fragrance, which will be for summer. You guys know I talk about this fragrance quite a bit, and this is from the House of Clive Christian. I'm pretty sure you know. It's 1872 for men. I'm a huge fan of green fragrances, and this just does the trick. There's this element of sparkliness. There's this element of happiness that comes through with it. Beautiful green facets of it. I think this fragrance is wonderfully aromatic. There's this beautiful, nice, fresh spiciness to it. And again, to me, I think it's just something that screams rich. And not rich in the sense of like, oh, I'm better than you. But no, it just makes you feel beautiful. It makes you feel elegant. First time I got this bottle, I was playing 18 holes at a local golf course. Right as I finished the 18 holes, I just remembered I had just bought the fragrance. And I was like, you know what? Let me just spritz it. Let me just see what it's like, how it makes me feel. Wind was nice. It was slightly cooling, but super warm. Sprayed this fragrance on, and my goodness, it just captured me. And it's been one of my favorite fragrances of all time since then. 1872 from Clive Christian. You got to check it out. I mean, I think if you like fragrances that have a little bit of a greenness to it, you can't go wrong with this. It's unique. It's wonderful. It's pleasant. It's happy. It'll make you feel a certain type of ways, and it'll also give you that confidence, which I really love. Another one that I would end up without hesitation getting another bottle if I ever ran out. So 1872 for summer. That's one of my holy grails. Now, let's go to fall. Now, this fragrance to me is just the epitome of class. And this is Creed, Bois de Portugal. This is just class. The wonderful lavender. Fresh, clean, barbershoppy, spicy, ridiculous lasting power. At least on the bottle that I have, I can't speak on behalf of other creeds, or other batches, the roulette aspect of creeds. But to me, this is a holy grail scent. I could wear this at any time. I think it would be perfect for, the whole day. I think, day, night doesn't matter. Again, a confidence booster. This is something that you wear, you're stepping in and people are going to be turning their heads towards you and you just smell well put together. It's fantastic. It's phenomenal. It's just so clean, so aromatic, so like so well put together. It makes me feel mature. Just wearing this fragrance and just being in the presence of this fragrance. Great conversation starter, I think. Again, if you like dressing up a little bit, you like wearing the crispness, maybe you're skinnier than I am. This is a fragrance that I think would definitely make waves and make splashes in your collection, and something that I think you could consistently go to and not worry about other barbershop-esque type of fougere fragrances. So Bois de Portugal for me is a winner. The only concern that I have, and if I could find the exact same batch or the exact same lasting power, absolutely I'd get another bottle of this. This is very much a signature scent, but I do kind of have that fear that if I do run out of this, I don't know what type of Russian roulette game I'll be playing with Creed, and that to me is a little bit concerning. But Bois de Portugal, you can't go wrong. Now, I hate doing this. This is going to be another honorable mention, because I do think that this deserves as much credit as possible. This is Ensarud, and this is called Homerus or Homerus. I'm not too much of a fan of leather scents. That's the reason why this didn't make the list. But this is the exception. Um, Deep, rich, dark. It lasts and lasts and lasts. You only need like maybe one or two sprays of this and you're good for the day. I think this is such a powerful leather scent. There's so much resinous, like resins, sweetness to this. The oud in here is just phenomenal. It's a little bit skanky, a little bit barnyardy, but mixing with the leather is just the ultimate combination. It's such a manly scent. It is a honorable mention just because I don't want to say I don't care for leather. I don't mind it. It's just it wouldn't be my go-to. That's why it doesn't meet the Grail conditions. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention because if you are a fan of leather, I don't think there's much better than that fragrance. So if you want to check it out, just make sure you check it out. I'll give you my little discount link that if it's available on Ensarud's website, feel free. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys knew this one was coming, so that's why it's in the first video. But for winter is Tobacco Sapphire. I've said nothing but great things about this fragrance, and I truly believe it. Such a wonderful spice bomb. You got this beautiful tobacco in here. The spiciness just blossoms off the skin. It's very sparkling. It's very effervescent. I think, again, it gives you such a beautiful feeling when you wear this fragrance. I do have a backup bottle of it, so this ain't going anywhere. But for real, it is a Holy Grail tobacco fragrance. I've said it multiple times with this fragrance. When I was in my discovery of tobacco fragrances, I went through lots, many. And I was getting to a point where I was like, damn, I really want a unique tobacco. I'm sick and tired of just getting a tobacco vanille type of fragrance, right? Like a vanilla tobacco, sweet tobacco. And I wanted something different. And I went to the extent of, wearing Amouage Royal Tobacco for a bit, not too long. Because to me, as much as it was almost what I was looking for, this came through, and this was exactly what I was looking for. I think Royal Tobacco was done really well from Amouage, but it was just too harsh. It was almost to the point where I just couldn't wear it. It was very almost unwearable. This to me is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wearable. The spices, the cumin, I know people will have their say on it, but if you can realistically just kind of get over that mental block, it's just absolutely mixed and done well. Love it, love it, love it. Beautiful tobacco fragrance. Tobacco Sapphire to me is one of my holy grails, and I will literally say that till the end. Love it. Best tobacco that I have, and realistically, like I haven't gone looking for any other tobaccos because I know that this to me will be the one that I choose and always wear over everything. So, Tobacco Sapphire for sure. Shit, treat your bottles great. All right, so now we're gonna go to my special fragrance, and let me just make sure. I believe this one was for fall. I believe this one was for fall. Let me just make sure. Yeah, yeah. It's hard. It's hard when you have 25 fragrances. So sometimes you gotta reference your list. Diagalev. I love this scent. I love this scent so much so that when I got engaged to my wife, and we had the party at a family's home, this was the scent that I wore. So a lot of memories are tied with the scent. It's absolutely regal. It's absolutely stunning, and the animalics in here are just phenomenal. The way that this is blended, it's very hard to describe what you're smelling. I definitely get the castoreum civet. I definitely get this regalness. To put it as relatable as possible, if you were to understand or kind of see what the Great Gatsby would wear as a fragrance, I feel like this would be it. Um, just it smells like gold. It smells like a gold palace. It smells like you're walking down beautiful gold stairs, and you're just kind of like, life is good, life is great, life is success. Um, and sometimes you need that boost of confidence. So, in the fall season when the air gets a little bit more crisper, I think this fragrance does wonders. The way that it just kind of blooms off of your skin, that animalic warmth mixed in with this sharpness, is by no means replicatable. I haven't seen too many fragrances do what this does. It's very clean, it's very sharp, it's very chypre. Um, and it's just, to me, I think this is a masterpiece. And when you talk about, Raja Dove, and I know a lot of people have their reservations with Raja Dove fragrances. When you get to the higher tier line and you find that something that you love, you'll love it. You'll love it to till your heart. And that's this fragrance. And to me, um, it really again holds a special place because it gave me that confidence that night, meeting new family and kind of knowing that a new life was about to start. And sometimes that's what fragrances do, right? They kind of sit with you, and it provides that scent memory. So to me, Diagalev, hands down, it would be my fall special occasion fragrance, and I'd love to continuously wear this and rebuy bottles whenever it gets done. So yeah, that's the five fragrances plus the honorable mentions. Honorable mentions will be done. We won't be doing that anymore. So the next episodes coming through will be the next five, and so on and so forth till we finish the series. And I really want to know down below in the comments section, what would be your number of fragrances that, if you were to cut it down and just focus on the holy grails of holy grails, what would that number be, and how would you categorize it? And throw in a fragrance or two that would make that cut. But till then, I do want to say thank you so much. Please subscribe, please like, please share the content, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Much love, peace out, have a great one, bye.